Hey there, Prairie Point Girl here. Hopefully you can hear me with my microphone under all these layers. But I keep having people asking me about what the weather's been like here. Well, cold. Cold is the answer. It is minus 41 Celsius outside right now. Minus 40 is the same in Fahrenheit and Celsius, so pretty close to the same thing. It is after 9 o'clock in the morning. The sun's up, shining bright, and it's still that cold out. And it's February 17th, I think, 18th, something like that. It's been cold and nasty for weeks and weeks here. The nice days have been like minus 23 around here. We've gotten a lot of snow this winter. Lots of snow piled up. I come out every morning, dump my compost, and check the thermometer in my greenhouse because I record all of that information. So I just thought I'd bring you along so you could have a look. In order to do that, I've had to put heat packs on my phone that I use for a camera so it wouldn't freeze up on me in just these few minutes that I'm out here. But let's have a look at the thermometer and see what it's like in the greenhouse in these conditions. It looks like it got up with the sun shining to around 7 Celsius in here, and it looks like that's about close to, 45 Fahrenheit. And got down in here, looks like it recorded it at about minus 35 Celsius, and that looks like it's about minus 32 maybe Fahrenheit. So I'm just going to reset that. That's the coldest I think I've ever had that at. There, it's all reset for tomorrow's temperature. So your skin can freeze in less than a minute in this kind of weather, so I'm not spending a lot of time outside. It's just been too cold to really spend much time out here. That hand that had the glove off is just freezing. I'm going to go inside where it's warm again. So you can see we have trails plowed in the backyard just to get through here. Lots of snow back here. I don't know if you can see the bunny trails across the garden. They've been using my compost as their personal feed box and running through the yard here. I'm freezing, I need to go in. Okay, so yeah, it's cold outside right now. The powers that be recently moved us up a few years ago to a zone 4A in my area of Saskatchewan, but those temperatures that we're experiencing today and for the next few days are actually around, I think, a 2B. So I still plant for the 3B that we've been for years and years, and hopefully with the amount of snow that we have on the plants outside, they will be insulated and protected enough to get us through this very cold weather without hurting them too much. Anything that has buds on it, like that formed last year, I'm not even sure what, like my apples and cherries and things like that, I think they get those buds started in the fall the year before, so I might not have a good crop on some of those this year with this extended cold. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, it's been cold out, so we've been trying to just stay inside. But speaking of inside, I'm gonna do some planting of sage. I've been trying this, I bought this little planting mat thing. Have you ever used one of these? I'm gonna try to see. I've been using it just flat to contain the mess, but I wanted to see what it's like to plant in it kind of closed up. So we'll see how that works. It's the biggest one I've ever been able to find, so I wanted to give it a try. Lots of them are really tiny, and I'm too messy to work in a tiny space. But so let me get my coffee out of the way. We'll get some potting mix here. Did I mention we're going to plant a little bit of sage? So where did I set that? Here, broadleaf sage. I love sage for pork dishes, and it grows quite nicely. So I'm just gonna grow one plant. I don't need a ton. I mean, it's just my husband and I here, so we don't need just a ton of seasoning. My husband isn't big on heavy seasoning, so I can't go too overboard with things. He doesn't appreciate that, but there, we'll just a little bit of soil here. This is honestly kind of a mixture of things that I had put together when I planted up those begonias the other day, but it'll be fine for the sage. It's not like super heavy or anything. And these seed to start indoors February to April or direct seed in mid-May. So it's February. And plant 1/8 of an inch deep, takes 14 to 21 days to germinate. And then, of course, sage likes full sun, hot, kind of on the drier side, I find. They're happy. These are pretty old seeds, like, I don't know, 7 years old. So quite a few here. They're a nice size seed. They're easy to work with. So I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle a few around in this pot. I'll maybe put 5 in. Hopefully I'll get a few plants going with that. They've always germinated fairly well for me, so sprinkle a tiny bit of soil on top of there. Like I said, 1/8 of an inch isn't very deep, so that's probably all we need. I'm going to grab just a little bit of vermiculite to put on top, just to help help regulate the moisture. My brain might still be frozen. Now I need something to set this in. I'll just put it in one of these little trays here. And a dome that's tall enough to go over top. There we go. Set that in there, put the tag in. Give it a little spray. Oh, that didn't work very well. I need to get a new spray bottle. This one wound up outside over most of the winter, and even though I had the top out of the reservoir, I think there was still moisture in there somewhere, and I think it's broken something. This soil wasn't, very damp. So I'm just gonna put a little water in there just to get soaked up by the soil. I'll pop the lid on. I'll put it on under the lights, and I'll come back. There's quite a bit of water in there right now. I'll come back in an hour or so later in the day. Just give it a little check and see if there's still water sitting in there. I'll dump it out. But let's pop it under the lights for now. So here's the herbs I sowed. I think that was, when was that I did these? I have notes here. Looks like it was in January. January 19th, so almost exactly a month ago. And it's not the greatest germination, but I mean, I have a little bit going here. So there's one rosemary right there. It's looking all right. And then I have a couple of oregano. There was an oregano coming up here, but I think it died. And the other rosemary that I planted never came up. So, and then this oregano, nothing came up here. And then this was all supposed to be winter time, and only one winter thyme came up. So I might try and throw a couple more thyme seeds in there while we're in here. I'll do a couple more oregano too, because it doesn't hurt. I don't have any more rosemary, but I've never had great success with rosemary anyways. Oh yeah, oregano just wants to be on the surface. I didn't need to do that. Put those back over. And I'm gonna go in quite heavy. The seeds are really tiny, and just kind of sprinkle them on the surface. Quite a few here. Maybe I'll put some over here too. I love oregano. Oregano is something I use a lot, and if I got a good crop of it, I could dry it and put some away for the winter. Oh, the thyme feels empty. We'll see. We might not have any more thyme. Oh, there is some. Okay. I think these are surface sown too. Yeah, surface sown. So again, I'll put quite a few on because they did not germinate well. So these again are like 7-year-old seed or whatever, maybe older. So there we go. I just put a few more on there. There's already vermiculite on there. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know, do I want to put a dome on? I'll put a dome on them and see if these other plants look like they're suffering from having the dome on. It looks like there's a couple of oregano in this. There's a few in here, so I'll be able to spread those out. A little scattered today, sorry. So I am gonna put a dome on. I'll vent it. I guess I should try to give these a little spritz to get them settled in. And I'm gonna put the dome on. I will vent it. Oops, it was vented. It's just so the other plants don't have too much humidity going on with them. But we'll see, maybe we'll get a few more herbs coming up in this tray as well. And then the other ones I'll be bumping up soon into bigger pot. So that's what I was doing for a little bit of gardening fun today and to pass the cold weather outside. I hope it is warmer where you are, and hopefully for those of you that are in the cold weather like myself, hopefully we'll be getting out of it soon and move on to some beautiful spring weather. March is coming. Usually the weather starts to change then. So keep our fingers crossed that this winter is almost done, because it's been a brutal one. Thanks for coming along with me in my plant room today, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.